Idea. I don't know who had the idea, but we were just gonna say fuck it and like instead of like getting together, because we used to bang out a track like once every night. Like we start a track and we wouldn't go to bed till it was done. I think that I felt that made it sound rushed. You know, it made it sound like we just pushed ideas out without thinking about them, or you know, kind of like sitting on an idea and making sure it was the right idea to do. So we just decided that we weren't gonna do that, man. We just sat down and made like 25 beats. You know, over the course of 3 months, we just made beats and beats and beats. Every night we get together and just make beat over and over and over and over again, until we had so many that like we couldn't really even use them all. But then after that, we just did hooks. Every night we do hooks. So kind of as the album went on, it's like each piece of the music that you hear is like, at the time that we wrote it, it was folk. We were just doing nothing but that, So like, we're in our zone in every element of the record. We stopped like halfway through the recording process. We stopped writing. We stopped using pen and paper because it was taking too long, and we'd write a whole all night, and then the next day we'd record, and that'd be 2 sessions. So we just were like, fuck it, man. We'll just get in there and punch in, and just write as we record, like in our heads, and instead of writing down paper, just say it. And it kind of gave more of a feeling to it. The delivery wasn't second guessed. It was just kind of fresh and new. So it was really dope, man. I definitely learned a lot on this record. I think that the theme of this album is changing something in your life. We had this idea that it was like a trip or like a journey going somewhere, but really not necessarily going somewhere, but leaving something. Leaving somewhere. I want a record that people don't just hear and say, "Oh, that was a good record," because in music today, everything's just so oversaturated. There's so many albums that are out that people just listen to an album and they move on, and people just digest music to do it, and they just run through CDs. I want this record to be something that people just can't take out, even with all that music out there that they can choose from, that they want to listen to this over again, more than one time.
Without a trace, without a trace, without a trace.
I really wanted to utilize the new knowledge that I have of like the new stuff that I've learned production-wise and beat-wise, and so I knew that I was going to do this from the ground up in a whole nother direction than I normally would, which would be just going at it like, but this time really thinking about it before. You can expect to hear really hard beats like usual, really hard-hitting beats, and sometimes on like really angelic sounding instruments, like really hard sounding beats on like not so hard of instruments, super imagination time beats, like, and the flows are just really, they hold the beat's hand and escort it, throughout the album. You kind of just, they're kind of written well written together. You can expect us to be in your face a lot more often now that we can get the fuck out of this room. Not be sitting in here working on this. We could actually be in your face with it. So you'll be seeing a whole lot of it. A whole lot of it, a whole lot of us. And we'll be seeing a lot of you. I'm working with a whole lot of local artists in the city recently for the past year. A lot of people. Working with that many different people allows me to see a lot of different art in a short amount of time. You know, I'll have 3 sessions a day. You know, from 3 to 6 I see somebody and I learn something new every time. From 6 to 9 I learned something. From 9 to 12 I learned something with 3 different people, 3 different mindsets. And that definitely reflects on the way I mix and master and make beats, because I'm making beats for so many different people. So when it's time to sit down and work on our stuff, it's like I've been exercising hardcore for like the Olympics or something, like the Beat Olympics.